Hello everybody and welcome to episode 30 of the Tottenham Way with Tottenham Hotspur. Welcome to season 3. And a summer of change has happened at the football club. It has been very busy out the door and in the door. Let's talk about it before we play Newcastle. Because we started off with a £30 million budget. We spent 367 in total. Not all at once, not will all be paid at once, relax. But we did let some players leave the football club. So Conor Gallagher has gone. He has joined Real Madrid for £46.5 million. Dejan Kulusevski has gone to Newcastle for £43.5 million. We'll see him shortly, no doubt. Brendan Johnson, thank you for Bilbao, £25.5 million to Aston Villa. Jarrod Bowen has gone to Everton for £24.5 million. Azani has joined Lyon for £24 million. Wilson Odobert has gone to Napoli for £14.5 million. Gonzalo Ramos has gone to Benfica with an option to buy him. Tomiyasu has gone to Napoli with an obligation to buy him for £32.5 million. Radu Dragusin has gone to Inter. Eric Martel has gone back to Germany with Hertha Berlin. Manor Solomon has gone out on loan to Brighton. Ashley Phillips has gone to Wrexham on loan. Sakai has gone to Bristol City on loan. And Josh King has joined Stoke on loan. The rest are kind of younger players who haven't featured in the first team yet. So yeah, a clear out is basically what's happened. We have gone right. We came close last year. Let's make sure we go one better this time around. Let's meet the new additions. And we start with a new right back, and that is Brooke Norton-Cuffy. He has joined us from Genoa for a fee of £14.5 million. They were relegated from Serie A, so we met the release clause. And yeah, 23-year-old, not an England international yet. Can play as a wing-back, can play as a right-back in itself. Nico Williams will probably move on towards the end of the window, although we only have 10 days left of it. There are still some more outgoings to happen, but yeah, Brooke Norton-Cuffy is the first one in. He is joined by Morgan Gibbs-White for a fee of £34.5 million. 27-year-old England international, replaces Conor Gallagher. Essentially, not really a like-for-like change. We have a lot of options in the centre of the park. You think Lucas Bergvall has done brilliantly. Archie Gray, Pap Sarr, Xavi is still here. Conor wanted to go to Real Madrid and I allowed him to go. Morgan Gibbs-White replaces him. We brought in another right winger, and that is Jadon Slory. He has come in from Feyenoord for a fee of £27 million. Has the potential to be a 4-star player. Dutch international already at 22. Pace to burn, acceleration, agility, crossing, dribbling, first touch, you name it, he has got it. This kid is going to be dynamite, hopefully, for us. We did also back it up with the loan signing of Ryan Cherki. He has joined us from Manchester City on loan for the rest of the season with an option to buy him for £193 million. We ain't going to be doing that. But he is here to supplement the midfield. Can play right across the 3 if we decide to go with a 10. Looking forward to seeing what he can do. Controversially, Rasmus Højlund is back in the Premier League, folks. After we bought him in from Napoli for £50 million. Just banged it on the table. I went, there you go. There's some money for Rasmus Højlund. Had bags of potential at Manchester United. Didn't live up to the expectations. He's 24 now. He's had a great start for us. We'll have a look at those results shortly. But yeah, Rasmus is here. Hopefully Rasmus can fire. And then the biggest deal of the summer from us is Morgan Rogers coming in from Aston Villa for a fee that will eventually rise to £80 million. Biggest amount of money I've spent in a long time in this game, but this kid is worth it. I mentioned earlier on about changing the narrative. We've brought in some younger players. We're thinking with the future in mind now. You know, we've done a couple of seasons now. We've won a trophy. We need to do so much more. And Morgan Rogers will help us in this journey. as we went to Everton and brought in Jared Braithwaite for a fee that will eventually rise to £70 million. We'll worry about paying it later. It's fine. Great defender, 25 years old, centre-half, can improve, will supplement what we already have. Obviously, he will replace Radu Dragusin over time. He's homegrown as well. Got some English players in the squad as well to help with the numbers in that department. But yeah, Jared Braithwaite is here. We followed that up by bringing in Antolino Turbin from Benfica for a fee of £44 million. A goalkeeper was desperately needed. A first-choice goalkeeper was desperately needed. Obviously, we have Suzuki, we have Nubel, we have Kinski. Nobody stands out. This kid stands out. 26 years old now. Did a great thing in the Champions League in real life this season. Hopefully he won't have to score goals and he'll just keep them out of our net, personally. And the last man in the door, and I think, personally, that will be it completely for us coming in. It will be outgoings now to try and alleviate some of the cost. And that is Chemi Andreas. He has joined us from Stuttgart for £46 million. Can play as a six, a proper six. And look at these stats, the mental ones. They're making me go green with envy because they are very green. And hopefully this 22-year-old will be a Spain international before too long. And after the first game of the Premier League season, I thought, what the hell is going on here? As we won by 7-2. We were behind as well after 6 minutes. But Lucas Bergvall, Xavi, 2 for Rasmus Højlund, 2 for James Maddison, and Destin Udogie even got on the bloody score sheet as we beat Burnley on opening day and laid down a marker for the season. But sometimes things can get lost when you lay down a marker, as we drew with Bournemouth in our second game. Gibbs White put us in front early doors. Guendouzi equalised later in the game for Bournemouth. So yeah, we start our away campaign with a point on the road. So we welcome back to the top table for the first time in a while, Norwich City. Burnley are back as well, as they've found out Premier League life will not get any easier for them. And West Ham are back in the Premier League as well after their season down in the Championship. Manchester City are the favourites to win this title at 13-8. Arsenal second to favourites at 10-3. 7-2 for Liverpool. 14-1 for Chelsea, 18-1 for us. We have not been that short on the opening day of the season for quite some time, which shows what business we did do. But thus far, after 3 games for some and 2 for the rest, Arsenal lead the way with 7 points. They drew with Liverpool in the early game. That is why they are on 3. Burnley are also on 3. They are without a win, but there are 6 without a win so far. Yeah, including Brighton, West Ham, Aston Villa, Ipswich and Brentford as well. So, Newcastle, they were the last game of last season as they denied us the FA Cup. Will there be a different scenario tonight in the league fixture? So here are the 2 starting lineups as Turbin starts in goal for us. Porro, Branthwaite, Van der Ven, Udogie, Sarr, Bergvall, Gibbs White, Kudus, Rogers with Rasmus Højlund leading the line for us as Vicario starts in goal for Newcastle. Trippier, Ugbo, Botman, Garcia, Gamares, Tonali, Jolinton, Kulusevski, Gordon with Votemeyer leading the line for Newcastle. As they have brought in a few to try and build on the success they had in the FA Cup final, which hurt, frankly. So let's get it out of our system early doors against Newcastle. Dejan Kulusevski in the opposition team today. He joins Kieran Trippier, being back at his former club. He'll get a decent reception, Kulu. Very, very gifted player. In the final year of his contract, that was the main reason why I let him leave. I didn't want him going for nothing in the summer. He wanted to talk about his options. He was happy, though, by the time we got to the end of last season, so I maybe could have taken the gamble on it. Didn't want to. Don't like losing players for nothing. And to be fair, Morgan Rogers coming in has kind of alleviated anything that I might have had about that. If Morgan can start firing quickly, that's good news for me. Because there's a lot of pressure on me this year. I don't know whether you've noticed that. Obviously, spending the amount of money we've spent, albeit some of it will be over time, obviously pumping that much money into a squad and buying ready players, 9 out of 10 of them, or 7 out of 8, then you expect things to happen, don't you? So hopefully they will. Braithwaite is in with Mickey van der Ven at the moment. Christian Romero, I'm still not sure. I like him. Oh my God, hang on. Braithwaite's giving the ball away. Vottermeyer with a shot. Oh, deflected behind. The end of the FA Cup final all over again. Yeah, I like Christian Romero, but he was one that I went, no, you're too old now. 29. I want to try and keep the average age of this team down. Dominic Solanke's another one that's kind of verging on the precipice. Dom scores goals, so Dom will stick around. Unless a massive offer comes in for him before the end of the transfer window. And then we might have to dip into the market again, but I doubt it. As Tevin picks up the ball for the first time. Let's see what Rasmus Højlund can do. Will he be shot shy on camera? Hopefully not. As the ball is with Van der Ven, looking for Kudus. On towards Pedro Porro. Those two back together. Sad to let Brennan Johnson go, but business is business in the end of the day. As Kudus drives down the field. Can he pick out a teammate? He goes for the shot himself. It's off the post and in. What a beauty from Mohamed Kudus. I mentioned about Brennan Johnson. Brennan wasn't doing that. Hence why he's out the door. But Mohamed, now fit again, has fired us in front inside 6 minutes. It is a beauty. Vicario waves goodbye to it. We get a little bit of luck. And it kisses off the other post and rolls over the line. But it's a good start. And you think gradually as these guys get more and more integrated into this team, it is going to be a very good team. If I can get Rasmus Højlund firing. I mean, he got 2 goals on opening day. Didn't get anything at Bournemouth, unfortunately. But if I can get him firing, then we have a hell of a squad here. And it's probably the best I've assembled. Or at least Johan Laag helped me assemble it. There was a couple that I put my hand in the till. But Rasmus Højlund was definitely one of his. Otherwise, normally there'd be about 18 or 20 players, wouldn't there? Let's be fair. There's only been 8. So I've definitely not done this all by myself. I've shown restraint and not taken my hand in the till. Too often, at least. Pedro Porro picking the ball up. And plays it back into Kudus. Back to Pedro Porro. Ball into the centre. Looking for Morgan Rogers at the far post. And there is his first goal for Tottenham. £80 million. 2-0 up inside 15 minutes. The revolution has begun. Or the evolution of Tottenham Hotspur. This is what I want to see. Balls into the penalty area. Players attacking the ball. Vicario laying on the ground. I think at home we are going to be a side to look out for. Away from home, this open style that we play might be a bit dodgy. But at home, if you let us get up ahead of steam, like Newcastle have done, to be fair. Obviously, they missed that chance in the first couple of minutes, but since then, we have been all over them. Burnley got blown away. I expect us to blow a few more teams away. And I quite like that idea. Win and win well, boys. Plays it back into Rogers. Onto Destiny. Back into Rogers again. Jabs it into the penalty area. Gibbs White and he combining as Rogers might get a shot away. Well, and he does. It's a second goal for him. It's a third goal for us. And it's going to be all over after 17 minutes. How does it feel, Newcastle? This is what happened in the cup final. They blew us away. Well, roles reversed. And Morgan Rogers grabs his second goal of the afternoon. Lovely stuff. I talked about laying down a marker. Well, this is laying down a marker. Newcastle finished behind us in the table last season, but not that far. So far, it's a chasm between the two teams. In towards Mickey van der Ven. Papsar again. Cross field to Destiny. Into Morgan Rogers. Trying to dance away from Kieran Trippier, who probably doesn't know what's hit him so far today. As the ball is into Gibbs. White drives it low behind for another corner. 10 minutes before half time. Can Newcastle hang on? Or will they be 4-0 down by half time? It's happened to them before against Tottenham. Under Harry Redknapp, we absolutely battered them. And it was 4-0 at half time. It was all over. It finished 5-0, I think, in the end. And then Fran Garcia will come away for Newcastle. On towards Vottermeyer. in towards Anthony Gordon. This is what I talked about. In transition, we need to be back behind the ball a little bit quicker than we are. As Gamaras gets the shot towards goal, but Turbin turns it away. Pressure on the football, please. Thank you very much indeed. Come on, Mohamed. Gordon, trying to get in between the lines, fires it into those Newcastle fans who have made the long trip south, and that is half time. I think they will probably be wondering why they made the long trip south. Pedro Porro causing damage by setting up two. Morgan Rogers grabs in a goal, all of his own making. 3-0 is the lead at half time. That'll take us up to second in the live table. Manchester United will go top of the Premier League. Can't remember the last time I said that. Should mention Jack Grealish as well. He's still here. Is he on the bench? I can't remember if I put him on the bench or not today. But Jack will get some game time. He is like the elder statesman now of this team. Him and Dominic Solanke are probably the two oldest we've got left, apart from Ben Davies, who is older than all of them. Pedro Porro with the ball towards the back stick, looking for a hat-trick of assists, and it's an own goal. It denies Pedro, but we grab the fourth goal. Was Rasmus Højlund going to head that ball in? I mean, Sven Botman put it in of his own accord. But it does kind of just hit him, doesn't it? But it's a lovely ball to the back post from Pedro Porro. And I mean, this is come and head me in. Does. Oh, he gets unlucky, to be fair. It was probably going in at the far post if Botman wasn't there. Unlucky. Never mind. You denied Pedro. And Pedro will be furious. But don't worry. He's got plenty of time to get another assist. So we're coming up to the hour and you're just giving the ball back to him. And now we're starting to knock it around. This is what I want to see from us. Bit of swagger. As Kudus comes back inside, finds Pedro Porro. Looks for Rasmus Højlund in behind for 5. And the offside flag goes up. No, it didn't. So we may well have had a penalty there. Tonali with a tackle on Morgan Gibbs-White, but nothing was given. Dancing through again. Pedro Porro looking back for him. It's a lovely ball in behind. Oh, but he can't pick out Højlund. Wasn't on the move. Kind of static inside the penalty area. Dejan Kulusevski is regretting his decision at the moment. I should have thought he is not going to be enjoying his afternoon in the Tottenham sunshine. We've done the damage. There is Branthwaite looking for a pass into Mohamed Kudus. Trying to get away. Ball towards the back stick, looking for Rogers. Will he come inside for a hat-trick? He will play the ball. No. Gibbs-White on the turn. 5 on the hour. Morgan Rogers with the assist. The other Morgan with the goal. Who says you can't have too much of a good thing? 2 Morgans in one side. I've only just realised that, if I'm honest. But Morgan Rogers to Morgan Gibbs-White to the back of Vicario's net. It's 5. 3 games into the season. I'm not getting carried away, but we have now scored 13 goals at home already in 2 games, and it's not even 2 games yet. As Vottermeyer heads it in to ruin it. But was he offside? He's grabbed the ball, which is something we weren't doing in the FA Cup final. So we imagine that he's quite happy with that, and he's going to say, yep, that's a goal, because he's still got hold of the ball. Rob Jones is our referee today, checking it. Goal is given. Clean sheet gone. That's what's going to happen. Unfortunately, I'm not one for clean sheets anyway. Just outscore the opposition. And we're doing it by magnitudes today. Right, we should probably make some subs, shouldn't we? I'm quite just enjoying watching this, to be honest. It's a demolition job at the moment. So, Solanke's going to come on for Højlund. We're not going to give Morgan Rogers his hat-trick, unfortunately. But we are going to bring Cherki on for him. We're going to make a change on the opposite side as well. And you're going to see Slory for the first time. And then we're going to take off Gibbs-White. And welcome back James Maddison, who is one of our elder statesmen as well now. As Hall has got the ball. Tries to play it inside. Newcastle, if you're going to start a comeback, I mean, it's going to have to start quickly. As the ball is shot towards goal. Mickey van der Ven sees it away. Morgan Gibbs-White will complete the clearance. No, we'll give it straight back to him. There we go. Well done, Morgan. And this is a perfect scenario as well, with about 15 minutes to play to get the new guy on as well, isn't it? So we're going to bring on Andreas for Papsar. But scoring 7 and 6 in your first 2 home games that's quite an achievement, right? 7 and 5 is okay, but it could be better. I'm being greedy now. Paulinho with the ball into Ramsey. And it's fired across goal, but it's still in play. Ozani with the ball into Wattermeyer, onto Trippier, into Tonali. And James Maddison will get it clear. And Dominic Solanke will try and hold it up, but can't get there. James Maddison with the follow-up. Go on, Jimmy lad. Tries to find Solanke. On towards Cherky. Trying to drive down the field is young Cherky. On to Destiny. With the ball into the centre. Looking for Slory at the far post. He can't win the header. Maybe that's not the ball to go into the box. It should be going in low, to be honest. But there we are. And then there are, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 behind the ball. Don't let them score from this. Shouldn't be allowed to get in the penalty area. Let them have a shot, but they do. And, yeah, I think we're slowly coming down the gears again. It's unusual to have two left centre-backs. Oh, he just about gets away with it. He's quite strong on the right foot as well, so I'm not worried about him at all. James Maddison inside the penalty area. Vicario, does he take it behind? No, he just about grabs hold of it. First thing he's caught all day. Do not want Newcastle to have the final say, but I do want to stress that the FA Cup final defeat kind of opened my eyes. So thank you, Newcastle. It opened my eyes to the fact we needed to go and spend big, and we have. So you may well have done a very bad thing for the rest of the Premier League, but it is almost over. Newcastle are going to have a long trip home. They weren't in it for very long, much like the cup final. We weren't in it for very long. Newcastle were blown away inside the first 20 minutes. We just need to try and put the dot on this. As Cherky comes towards goal. Can he pick out a teammate? He can find Destiny, who's already got one this season. Nearly grabs his second goal of the season. Because as soon as they start scoring goals, and the attackers start scoring goals, everybody's got a problem. And we haven't. Lucas Bergvall with the corner. It is poor towards the near post. Newcastle might get on the counter-attack from here, but their race is run. Pedro, take him. See him off, please. Okay, no, he's just going to let him pass the ball back. We are into 4 added minutes at the end of the game. Turbin turns it around the post. And we know that time is up. The game is up. It has been for a long time. Let's just enjoy a 5-1 home win against Newcastle United. Marker laid down for a second time for us. As I mentioned, 12 goals in our first 2 home games of the season. 7 on opening day, 5 on match day 3. Jobs are good. So the rest of Saturday's games with 1 left to play. So we mentioned about Liverpool and Arsenal. Finish 1-1. Bournemouth beat Brentford in the Battle of the Bees. As Chelsea go top of the Premier League after beating Ipswich. Nottingham Forest beat Manchester United. We hammered Newcastle, as you saw. And West Ham drew at Brighton. Crystal Palace and Manchester City in your 5:30 game. So with the Premier League table in its infancy, Chelsea lead the way with a 100% record. Only Manchester City and Everton will be able to continue that beyond match day 3. At the bottom, 4 now without a point, including newly promoted Burnley and Aston Villa, but they haven't played yet this weekend. So we're going to make a short hop forward, mainly because we've done Chelsea a few times now, we've done Manchester United a few times now. I want to see the Champions League draw as well and see who comes out of that. So Norwich City, it's you! You're live on camera! Don't be frightened. I've been to Carrow Road on an away day with Tottenham before. It was a glorious day out. Hopefully the same will be said of this one when we take on Norwich in early September. And then we'll have a full picture. We'll have had the transfer window. It'll all be done. And we will know what's coming down the track in terms of the Champions League as well. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you've enjoyed it, please leave a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.